Welcome back, guys, to the channel. I'm Jake ELLENBOGEN, and today we'll be talking about the tight end position. We're going to be talking about the Rams starting tight end, a tight end that's taken a little bit to get going, but when he finally did in 2019 towards the end of the season, we started to wonder if this guy that was once dubbed as Baby Gronk could actually be Baby Gronk. That is Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee is going to be today's video topic. We are going to be projecting his 2021 Rams statistical output. Let's be honest here. 2020 looked like it was going to be another huge season for Tyler Higbee. 2019 was huge. Rams didn't make the playoffs, but we saw Tyler Higbee emerge in the last 4 games and ended up totaling 734 yards on 69 receptions and 3 touchdowns. Now, Tyler Higbee is coming off kind of a down year, so to speak. He battled some injuries, but the thing that made it such a down year is early on in the season, the Rams played the Philadelphia Eagles. He had 3 touchdowns in that game and looked like he was on the precipice of breaking out to a whole other level we've never seen before. That didn't happen. He actually was phased completely out of the offense in a sense, and it was really just Gerald Everett who was getting his opportunities at tight end, albeit he was hurt, and you saw with the giant brace on his arm. But now with Matthew Stafford, does Tyler Higbee emerge and have some sort of a comeback season? We'll get into that. Before we get into that, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and a like if you like the video. It helps with the algorithm, and we're going to get right into it. So, starting off, 17 games, you know the rules. We're going to go with 48 receptions on the season. Last year, he finished with 44 receptions on the season, so 48, he goes up by 4. I think Higbee has a chance to really break out with Stafford. Now, 48 receptions would say I don't believe that. I think it's really the issue with Tyler Higbee is not that I don't believe in him. It's the fact I think there's just too many cooks in the kitchen. He's not going to go to 1,000 yards like a lot of people have mentioned to me. Is there a chance Tyler Higbee goes to 1,000 yards? I know Jared Goff held him back. He's not getting to 1,000. You have Woods, you have Kupp, you have Van Jefferson, you have Deshaun Jackson, you have Tutu Atwell, you have Cam Akers, you have Darrell Henderson. He's not getting to 1,000. But 48 receptions is not bad considering he's the 5th or 6th option. Just saying. Moving on, we have the yard total, and that we're going to go with 528 on the season, which is an upgrade by 7. Last year, he had 521. So it isn't the best season for Higbee, but you have to keep this in mind. Again, there's so many mouths to feed in this offense, and I think if the Rams get 528 yards on 48 receptions out of Tyler Higbee in 2021, they'll be happy with that. They want to get Jacob Harris developed. They want to get him involved. They want to get Bryson Hopkins involved. You know, Johnny Munt re-signed. They still have Kendall Blanton. So there's going to be opportunities for them to, ride it out with other guys. And Higbee, keep in mind, while he got that contract, he's not going to be signed forever. So they could turn and look to maybe try and develop Jacob Harris the next year or so. We will see, especially Bryson Hopkins, a 4th-round talent. Also, Jacob Harris, who they have opted to turn from wide receiver to tight end, is also a 4th-round talent. So far, we have Higbee at 48 receptions for 528 yards. That is 31 yards per game, which, again, is not bad considering. Higbee doesn't need to be the guy, and I think this is the thing that's going to benefit him. And I think you're going to see opportunities that maybe he didn't have in the past based on the fact, you have Matthew Stafford's accuracy, which just goes unsaid. And then on top of that, you have all these new weapons. You're adding Atwell, and you're adding a more experienced Van Jefferson in year 2. You're having Deshaun Jackson, and then Cam Akers, who really, he didn't get going until the end of last year. So it's a new offense. There's going to be more opportunities for Higbee. And I think Higbee is going to be used especially in the red zone. So just remember I said that. So 11 yards per reception out of Tyler Higbee. Not the most ever, but you look at last year, 11.8, the year before 10.6, and the year before was his best season. I think 11 is pretty good. I know he had 11.8 last year, and that looked really good, of course, but keep this in mind. Again, more weapons. You have Stafford. I think, like I said, I think he's going to be used more in the red zone. He's a big-bodied receiver. Matches up very well, and to me, you can now throw that red zone fade. So I think Stafford's going to be using him in the red zone. And then I have 5 receiving touchdowns out of Tyler Higbee. I understand he could have more. He could have a better season than what I'm predicting for sure. But this is kind of how I feel, is that, while he has a chance to break out, blow up and all that, I just don't know with all of these guys, all of these names, all these faces in this offense, really what to expect out of Tyler Higbee. He's capable, but I just don't know if Stafford doesn't pick favorites. Stafford throws to who's open. He spreads the ball out. He threw to Hunter Bryant, a UDFA tight end. That was my latest YouTube short I just posted. But my point is that Stafford doesn't just, get stuck on a receiver. Like Higbee and Goff were pretty close, and they had a good connection, and you saw that towards the end of 2019, but you've also seen, Goff and Kupp were really close. So it's going to be interesting to see how the ball is spread out, especially with Stafford. But hey, I think a 48 reception, 528 yard season with 5 touchdowns is just what the doctor ordered for Higbee. It's very similar to last season, but in a sense, it's more impressive because of what you're doing. You're doing that same, you're replicating last year, but you're doing it with lesser opportunities and more around you. Whereas last year, you were one of the top options, and this is what you accumulated. So that's kind of my thoughts there. That's also it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tyler Higbee, again, I think he's going to have a good year. I don't think he's going to have a fantastic year, and he doesn't really need to. For my fantasy fans out there, I don't know if I, love the ADP that he's at right now based on my statistical output that I'm projecting. This is somebody that's probably going to be relatively touchdown dependent during the year. He'll have those games where, maybe he goes for 70 yards on 5 catches, and that's good in PPR, but he's going to be relatively touchdown dependent, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to give it a like, a comment, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel further, you can head over to my Patreon, become a patron today, or you can sign up for the account so you can become a member on the channel. But aside from that, guys, you guys take care, and I will talk to you guys soon. Later.